welcome back to the channel. My name is Gamer. The other day, I went to look on the Pokemon TCG online, and when I went on there, the servers were down. I was like, what is this? I was agreeing with this page. But it turns out the game's completely gone. So I went and downloaded a new version of Pokemon TCG Live. I was expecting this new, just better version of online. But when I got to it, it feels like a complete mess. They don't have old card ports. Now, listen, I understand that some cards are kind of hard to find. But for me, what was upsetting to me was X and Y was what I grew up on. X and Y was my favorite series of all time. Sun and Moon was also around that time, but I didn't really like Sun and Moon that much. I liked X and Y because it had Megas, it had EXs, it had that breakthrough, which was really unique in my opinion. And I remember my first Pokemon pack I ever opened, I got a Mega EX. I can't remember exactly which one it is. I'll probably Google it and find it. But listen, when I got on the new game, all of these cards that I used to have are gone. And so I queue up into a match, and it just feels like everything isn't as good as Pokemon TCG Online. And it's not like a nostalgia thing. It's just quite literally worse. The board is weirder. The animations suck compared to the old game. The old game, like, the animations were fire. This one's just kind of like, eh. And I don't think that it truly captures all that Pokemon TCG Online used to have in this live game. I feel like this live game was a project that wasn't completed and they just published it. I don't feel like it's good yet. And I mean, they're trying, they said they'll eventually bring back X and Y, but how long has this game been out? I think it's been a year or close to it. I don't know, I was playing it back in April and they didn't have it then. They still don't have it now. So I'm gonna go hop over into the game. I'm just going to play a match. I'm going to discuss further about this review and why I feel this game is as good as Pokemon TCG Online. The original idea was I was supposed to play the game and then discuss the points as I played the game that I don't like. But I simply just get kind of distracted and kind of lose track of my thought process. So I will just show clips and or images of what I'm talking about as I talk about it. And going forward, I will be playing the game a bunch until they bring back X and Y. Like, that's my protest. I want them to bring back X and Y. But let's get back into the review. One of the things that's interesting about Pokemon Live was that it tried to kind of recreate the feel of the game. If you look, you got a character now that's way more customizable, almost like anime-like. You have a battle pass now, which a lot of online games are trying to do in order to get monetized better. You have multiple different currencies. You can both buy packs and earn packs, which the old game did, but it's in a weird way now. And the Battle Pass allows you to earn way more packs than you ever used to be able to, which is something that is unique and I kind of enjoy. Because of the fact that the only way to really get packs was to play the game, and you got through levels, and like you got a really cool card in the old online game, which I really did appreciate. The end card was way easier to achieve than these end cards. And it was really cool. But also with this new setup, you get way more Pokemon packs. And on top of that, I don't know if the old one had it. I might not have been involved. But I think there's a ranked system in this new one that I don't think the old one had. And there's also casual. Now, I just don't like the way the game feels. I feel like Pokemon Live was a rush project. Like I said, it only has Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, and Scarlet and Violet. It does not have X and Y, Black and White, and all the other original Pokemon cards. The only reason I know those two ones is because those are the two games I've played both on DS and 3DS, so don't give me crap about not knowing all the Pokemon games. I just don't. So, because of that, I don't really like the game. Another aspect of the game that I like is it feels like they could have ported those cards over. If the old game had it, why can't the new game have it? And they have discussion, they've said, yes, X and Y will come out, but why hasn't it come out? Why hasn't Black and White come out? Why are these cards taking so long to come out? The game came out, what, beginning of 2020, something like that? I don't like how long it's taken. Another thing that I don't really appreciate is the starter decks. Now, the starter decks just don't they're kind of not really great. And I might just be bitter. The thing I wish is that they brought back the trainer battles. I don't know if you guys remember this. Well, there was these things that were called the trainer battles. What you did was you went and you battled these trainers, and if you beat them with 5 different decks, you got a training pack at the end. And as you beat, I think it'd be like 6 or 8 or 5 or 3, something like that, I don't know. You had to be a certain amount of trainers to get cards for these decks, and then you would be able to have a full deck, and with that deck you could use it. It was a pre-made deck, and they gave you a deck to start with. Gardevoir. And they don't, it's not like they don't give you decks now. I just feel like the decks now are kind of choppy, you know. I don't really know how I feel about them. I don't know if I like them. Again, please comment below if you have a good deck, because it's the ones that they be giving me suck. Another thing I don't like is just you used to get really cool visual effects when you did moves the stronger they got. I remember Gardevoir, because that was the deck that I used to use, because I don't know how to build decks, but it was the basic deck that you got with the game. And as you got more damage, it would have a huge covering the map explosion and be ripple effect. Nowadays, it kind of tries to have the effect, but it really doesn't. And the board, although it looks futuristic, it feels too futuristic. Like, it feels like it's taking the train card game out of train card game. You know what I'm saying? And the setup of the board is so much different than the old game. I don't really like it. And part of my problem could be the dislike of the current Pokemon situation with the V-Star, V-Star Max, EX, new version of EX. All of those are kind of weird, and I need to adjust to them. So please, if you could take time to explain them to me, I would much appreciate trying to learn about them. But it could also be that slight upsetness that is causing me to not approach this as good as I should. I feel like even though I might not be equipped and know a lot about the new games, I should still be able to play live. You know what I'm saying? That might be the deep issue. As it's focused towards the newer generation of Pokemon cards. And I'm not the newer generation of Pokemon cards. I have really no say in Pokemon right now. I can't play Pokemon because the decks that I'm used to and the ones that I love using aren't available. And that might be why I can't play Pokemon new TCG. That might be why a lot of fans can't play it. The cards that they were used to playing their decks off of and they're used to collecting aren't available anymore. X and Y resonates with me because I think what I told you guys already. My first pack opened a Mega EX. I used to play in real life Pokemon TCG, and I loved Megas. I loved EXs. They're my two favorite things in the whole game. V-Star and everything else, it was weird. You got a little card that you put down on the side. Here, I have one right here. You gotta like put down a card to use a V-Star, and it just doesn't feel the same to me. When I used to play Pokemon, it was energies, and Mega and EXs were their own thing. Some EXs are their own thing now. Some of them aren't their own thing. They like the evolutions, and it's weird because here it is. I even know. I think what they're doing is they're hindering their ability to have audiences play the game because they're not allowing everybody to play the game. By having only a certain select group of cards, you're having a certain select group of people be able to play it, which would be a great concept, except the ones that they're choosing are not as popular. If you want to tap into your fan base, you've got to go back to your most popular era. X and Y was probably one of the most popular Pokemon decks in my opinion. I feel like the downfall started with Sun and Moon and went from there. That's when I stopped playing, and I've only recently started playing Sword and Shield again because I like the open world concept that they have going on. I think that needs to be discussed and addressed, you know, and I think once they start bringing back old decks, we'll see a rise in player count because you're allowing people that don't like these new decks to have a place in a new community. And that's why I'm going to start a series protesting to get X and Y back. Not protesting, I'm just going to play it and do really good and talk about X and Y a lot. So I want X and Y brought back. Because I think by adding in a sense of community, not a sense of community, adding in things that like people my age could enjoy, people maybe older than me can enjoy. When you make the decks from like only recent decks, it's weird. It's weird new mechanics that people don't want to learn. They don't enjoy as much. You know, I haven't bought a Pokemon pack in ages. The only reason I did was because my girlfriend got me some. Opening those was just like, eh. I don't know what cards were good or not, you know. Sometimes it's hard to learn a new game. Like, I'm still learning what's good in Sword and Shield because I just started. Alright, sometimes it's better to just let your fan base have the old stuff. I think that by producing an incomplete game like they did, disallowed the entirety of the community enjoy the game. That's just how I feel. Comment below how you feel. If you guys love Pokemon Live, let me know what's good about it. Alright, thank you for watching. If you're not already, please consider following. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.